right, welcome back. I mentioned earlier that it is a day when the world is observing caution when in as far as the protection of the ozone layer is concerned. And also I mentioned that we shall be having a conversation surrounding safety when it comes to use of gas, and that is specifically gas cylinders, whether it's on cooking, whether it's on your business, and everything in between, just everything that is concerned or related to gas. And this morning I'm joined by Richard Otieno, who is the head of operations and ESG, and the brand is Zuri Gas. Richard, thank you so much for making time for us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, so Richard, I think this is just a brief intro about yourself. How would you describe yourself and what you do?
Okay, so as you've said, my name is Richard Otieno. I'm the head of operations and ESG. ESG basically means environment, social, and governance. It's an entity, a new entity coming into Kenya business model that focus on ethical practices and sustainability. So I deal with gas. I work with a company called Energy Invention. So Energy Invention has a subsidiary company called Zuri. So Zuri is the one that owns the Zuri gas brand. Yeah.
All right, for how long have you been doing this?
So for the LPG industry, basically the energy have been there for 5 years. Yeah.
All right, now let's get into what concerns our viewers. Of course, you'll be telling us later on why Zuri, because as we were talking before we got live, you were telling me that every supplier gets gas from the same
Yeah,
provider.
Yeah.
So what differs is the brand.
The branding and
So
packaging.
what led you to, or what led Zuri brand to, what niche did you see in the market for you to like come out with a different brand? What are you doing differently from other brands?
So thank you. So number one, when you talk of gas, something that comes in your mind is safety. Yeah. So one of the things that we did was on safety. So majorly, all of the brands you see them in the market, there's also a concern from the consumer that maybe my gas iko na shida nini. So we look at the safety, reliability, yeah, and affordability. Yeah.
We've heard of situations where consumers complain of counterfeit gas,
Yeah, yeah.
or leaking gas and all that is not unsafe for them. How rampant is this? Because you interact with customers almost on a daily basis. How rampant is this?
So one of the things that really affect gas is the issue of counterfeit, or basically we call it cross-filling. And I think the regulator that is in regards to IPRA, they have been working on something for the past like 10 years, yeah, just to have technology on the cylinders. So a lot of consumer education is ongoing. Basically from IPRA, forums are being conducted just to ensure that the consumer, because the consumer is the one that dictates the cross-filling. Yeah? Once a consumer does not get gas, ikimwishia kwa nyumba, ata choose to pick what is available. Yeah? And majority of these illegal refills operate during the night. Yeah. Ndio wakati maybe mtu unapika gas inakuishia. Yeah.
Ndo matime ya nitumie
So
urgently.
ukipigia kampuni kwambia you will have to wait like 2 hours na unataka kupika ugali, that is.
So how do you identify a counterfeit cylinder?
So number one, majorly on all brands, and I want to speak about Zuri. If you look at our cylinder, has different features. Yeah, it has a QR code that you can scan, gives you information on when the cylinder was manufactured, when the cylinder was filled. Yeah, in fact, we are trying to implement more of AI to the system so that we can be able to pick when also this cylinder was sold. Yeah. So also we have other features like the KEBS mark, the weight, the packaging that is in regard to the seal-proof features, the seal cap for 6 and the seal shrink for 13. Yeah.
All right. Now you are talking about a Zuri cylinder, but to our consumer, because at the moment you're not fully operational in Nairobi, that is as far as I understand it.
So Zuri Gas is a new brand in Kenya. We are trying to push our market to Nairobi. So we have Murang'a, we have Kiambu, we are coming to Nairobi then we want also to go to the Mount Kenya regions. Yeah.
All right. Assuming someone watching us right now is from, let's say, Kitale
Okay.
or Mombasa.
Yeah.
Zurich Gas cannot be, at the moment,
Yeah.
the operations are not extended to those areas.
Okay.
And you've mentioned of features where there's a QR code where you can scan it and identify if the gas is authentic.
Yeah.
So for a person who does not have access to Zurich Gas, how can they identify that this is a fake cylinder, this is an authentic cylinder?
So number one is this. They always say the consumer, the customer is the one that speaks. Yeah. It's not that it's a new thing. Tumepata some of the orders, mtu anakupigia even from Turkana. Nasema, I've seen on your social media this new brand coming in. Can you supply me with maybe 100 pieces? So number one, on the LPG industry, you find that we want to have an affordable product in the market. But now what comes in mind is the process of production of this product is quite expensive. Yeah. Anytime I'm selling my cylinder in the market, I'm losing 500 shillings. So for me to gain these 500 shillings, I need to do like 4 cycles of refill. Yeah. So you can imagine I'm sending this product maybe to a market that I cannot control. So napeana with that loss of 500, inaenda kwa customer, it gets a cross-field person, even then anapoteza that amount of money.
All right.
Yeah. So that is why the reason why we are going to the market slowly by slowly. Yeah. So once I'm very sure sahi Murang'a tumelock, Kiambu are coming in heavily, then Nairobi we're picking because Nairobi basically we just deal with the premium customers. Yeah. So in this regards, I'm saying we have the metallic, then one you always see. I'm very sure that ni unatumia kwa nyumba, and you have something called a composite. A composite is a safe. Majority of the people call it a safe cylinder. It's translucent. You can see the gas levels. Yeah. So import it from China. So this is the one that we're bringing to Nairobi. So the places of Kilimani, Karen, etc.
Right. So in short, you're saying that unless it's Zuri, you cannot identify if a gas cylinder is fake or original.
So for the cylinder you can, but for the gas you can't dictate. So for the cylinder you look at the features, you look at the logo, the branding of logo, you look at the color, you look at the way it is packaged. Our cylinder is coming, has a safety sticker, has a seal cap. A seal cap has some numbers you can call to the company. It has a QR code. Yeah.
All right. I'm a little confused here. Still on identification of a fake or an original gas if it's not Zuri. But you're really throwing me on the edge on this one. Because I'm thinking of if it's not, in short, let's say if it's not a trusted brand, then you may not for sure know that if what you're having is a real thing or it's not a real thing.
So the thing is this, all brands are trusted because they come from somewhere. They come from a company. But what happens is the gas inside. Yeah? Because once I do a refill for you, I'll need to do the quality checks in the cylinder before dispatching to the customer. Now, in the other hand, for the illegal people, they just fill. Yeah? That's why in my packaging of the price of a cylinder, you'll find that maybe my cylinder is a bit ikona kapesa kidogo juu compared to what is in the market, the illegal people. I have to consider labor, I have to consider the branding, transportation, etc. But this guy, anakuzi. So the number one thing is the price. Yeah, because for these all regions we have prices. So there's a region we are refilling at 1,000. We come to a region like where we find students, tunawapea around 960. So number one is the price. So once unapata mtu anakwambia, I'm selling my Zuri, I'm doing a refill for Zuri for around 700. So number one, unaanza kuona this is a fake cylinder. Yeah. So price, number one. Also the features. Yeah. I'm very sure there are kind of cylinders zenye ukiangalia ukienda kwa your retailer you can't buy. Yeah. Maybe ziko rusted, ziko nini. Yeah. So from our side we ensure that only quality products ndio ziko kwa soko. So we try as much as possible to pick the rusted back. So we do for them revalidation then send back.
All right. You have mentioned something in relation to pricing.
Yeah.
So, in as far as I get it, for you to come up with a quality product, you need to get to quality check and all that.
Yeah.
So, for your case, where does this costs end up on? Because you have various teams. You have even the digital team
Yeah,
that manages,
yeah.
calls and all that.
Yeah.
So, where does this extra price go to? Does it go to your pocket, or is this cost transferred to the consumer?
So, and it's a good question because also there's a discussion on the pricing. And the discussion is this. Initially, when you're doing the manufacturing, you go to the place, you pay, the manufacturing for a cylinder is about 1950 to 2050. There, one cylinder, that is a 6 kg cylinder. But what is coming up out now is IPRA, or the government, wants to cater for 60% of the production. Then not 60, 40%. 40% they give to the company, then 20 comes from the consumer. Yeah, so the consumer only pays 20. I'm very sure we have heard of the something that the president was speaking about, the 500 refill. Yeah, so this is the 20% that the consumer will be paying, and this is starting, I think, next year January. Yeah, so utakuwa nasikia the refills are around 450 to 500.
So
If
it's
it is an implementation that will take place. Yeah.
isipokuwa nitafanya nitatenda.
Isipokuwa, you just be hearing of the prices of 1,000, 1,200.
So at the moment, the whole cost goes to the consumer.
Yeah, the whole cost goes to the consumer. But from our side, we are bringing a product with a loss of 500. So 500 ni mimi na chukua hiyo cost.
So how do you stay in business? Because operating on a loss is literally killing the business.
So that is a difficult part. And that's why utapata a brand or LPG, unapata there are some brands zinakuja kwa soko, then after certain times zimepotea. So from our side, yani ni ile tu our wish, yeah, is for us to do 4 refills for a cylinder for us to gain good profits. Yeah.
So are you running a charity? Because if you're operating on a loss continuously, you're operating on a 500 shillings loss per gas, you said.
Per cylinder, yeah.
So how do you compete?
So I think number one, this comes with a goal, yeah? What we want to achieve. Yeah? So first of all, us moving to this business, we want to do something called reduction of the carbon emission. Yeah. So we want to help people move from using firewood to using gas. So that is number one goal. So that becomes part of I can quote it like a charity. Yeah. Then we are trying, you've heard of me talk of the premium customer. So this is a customer haezi refill kwingine. Yeah. This is a customer that focuses on quality more than the cost. Yeah. So we try as much as possible using all platforms such as social media and to try and caution the customer that once we give this cylinder, we are giving it at an affordable price. So you need to give it back to us. We refill for you for us to be in business. Yeah.
So if a customer does not get you back the cylinder, that means it's
a loss. Yeah.
All right. So for someone who is planning or maybe has an ambition of beginning should I say no, it's not a gas company, a brand that is related to gas. What are the biggest challenges that you face in staying in business?
So number one is licensing. To get a licensing for LPG is very, very expensive. Yeah, because you have to have a stock of cylinders, 30,000 cylinders. So that is 30,000 times 1950. I was telling you. So you calculate that is in millions. Also getting the licenses, the distance, because I think one of the business in Kenya that you need also, for you to start, you need to have a discussion with the community is LPG. So you have to come to the community, niwaambie, I need to start an LPG. Will you people accept? You go to places where community nakwambia, si mambo na gas hatutaki. Yeah. So the process of you getting the licensing is very expensive and time consuming. So you'll have to have the whole year chasing licenses, talking to the chief, the community, going to IPRA offices. Then another thing, I think, is cross-filling. Yeah. the biggest risk cross-filling. So a person can just decide to keep your cylinders, afanyie biashara, ikirasa na kurudishia.
All right.
Then again you have to incur revalidation costs. Again you bring in the product with a loss. Yeah.
So are there regulations that are currently working? You know, there might be regulations, but then they're not working. Are there working regulations that are managing this cross-filling challenge that companies are facing?
Yeah, there are regulations. I think the regulator is doing some good things together with the ministry. But I think one of the things that us as the business we are pushing for the regulator is for them to incorporate technology. Yeah, because majorly of their way of doing things is traditional way. So they just come, they check, do you have a license? You don't have the clause. Yeah, but these things are things that they can check. They can put a portal. They can even advertise all the companies that are certified to conduct the business. Yeah.
All right. So how you mentioned earlier that you're planning to involve AI in this.
Yeah.
So how are you planning to do it, and what can the government or the regulators learn from that?
So number one, we have a QR code system. It uses a scanner, so you can scan and get information. So there's something we call a SCADA and IoT in the system, and I think it is connected to something called you have heard of a cylinder that you pay as you cook. Yeah,
That's new.
it's not new. It's a product imekuwa kwa soko. There are some cylinders that you either pay 50 bob, then unapikia hiyo pesa ikiisha, you also need to pay another amount.
All right.
Yeah, they are there. Some of them are supported by this the big corporations, the Safaricom, etc. So that is an example of the system in place. So from our side, a customer can scan. Once you scan, you can use that. It gives you a link. Yeah. So from that link, we have connected it to the AI system. So there is no person. It's like a bot. Yeah. So from that link, you get all the information on the cylinder. Yeah.
So what are the limitations of using technology in this?
I think technology, one of the limitations maybe ni have a failure on the system.
Has it happened before?
No, it has not happened. But technology changes every day. Yeah. Leo utasikia AI is doing this, tomorrow it may change. Inaanza kufanya something else. Also a bigger risk in regards to technology na AI, I think, is privacy. Yeah. So we give the AI companies a lot of information in regards to your business.
All right.
Yeah. So if I'm the big boss, yeah, assuming now I'm a multinational, I can be able to pick this information and use to my benefit.
That is what someone was saying, that there's nothing that is tech related that can be given for you for free, and people really monetize on your personal data. So if this, you've already seen it in your business as a foreseeable challenge, do you think this can be affecting or might be the reason why the government is reluctant in terms of adopting technology to manage most of the businesses in the country, or regulate most of the businesses? Because we've also seen county bosses wakikataa incorporate e-procurement system and all that. So could that be the reason that you think most people are reluctant in adopting technology?
So I think number one, you can't fight technology. That is number one. And I'll give you an example. I'll give an example of e-citizen. Yeah. So you find government is trying to put all services to e-citizen, but also the people, us, you find there's a lot of complaints coming from the system. Either it takes time for you to get a service, sometimes unaipata hata hayuko, and the same regards to maybe to share and etc. So number one, hawezi achana nayo. So it's just for you kuichukua, then you use what is important to you. Number two, I think now also the workforce CSI, the young people. You look at me, and I think it's one of the biggest thing. Unapata most companies are trying to bring in the young workforce. Yeah? This young workforce wants to work very independent. You find me, nakwambia, as long as I'm productive, si lazima unione kwa ofisi. Yeah? I'm telling, because I have a team of around more than 50 people. Half of this team wanna work from home. He said they're doing hybrid ama remote. Yeah?
Okay.
So anakwambia as long as you get I have achieved my KPIs, hakuna haja unione. One of kwa my KPIs hakuna a place where you say at lazima unione kwa kazi. Yeah. So that is technology. So it's a guide to generate a system yet unapata reports. Yeah.
All right. Do you consider that a challenge or something positive?
It's something positive, and number one, because it gives someone freedom to do a lot of things. Yeah. Yeah. Unajua ya ofisi ni ya kitambo, it's a traditional way. Yeah.
Most people don't want that. Now, where do you see this gas business in the next 5-10 years to come?
So I think even not in the next 10 years, let's say 5 years, because it's the vision of the government and also the international bodies for the uptake of LPG in Kenya to move from 5%, sahi iko around 5 to 7 to 15 per person, or per household. So sahi tuko around 30% uptake. So they want it to go to 70%. So the opportunity is there. Yeah? That's why hata ukisema us losing, we look at the opportunity that is coming in.
All right.
Yeah.
If in as far as conservation of the environment is concerned and protection of the ozone layer, could this be something that is you're foreseeing a future where it will be funded by international bodies to encourage use of clean energy?
Yeah. So I think when I started, I have a department called ESG, yeah, which look at the sustainability. So basically, sustainability means what I'm doing today should not affect the next generation. Yeah. So I think one of the goals, not even us as a business, but Kenya as a government, is to push the adoption of LPG for every Kenyan. Yeah. So number one, there are a lot of leeway to the regulations. So they are trying to put them, not the traditional way, them to be easy for investors to move in the business. Number two, they are partnering with a lot of other agencies. For instance, you've heard of reticulation. Yeah. So reticulation basically means for the new estates coming in, for the building codes, you have to give a leeway for reticulation of LPG. All the new buildings coming in, estates, etc. Lazima weka leeway ya kuweka reticulation LPG.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's encouraging for someone who wants to venture in the business of gas. Yeah. Now, how can our viewers find Zuri?
So, Zuri on our social media platform is Zuri Gas Facebook, Zuri Gas Twitter, Zuri Gas Instagram, TikTok. I saw some posts yesterday for TikTok, Zuri Gas TikTok, also LinkedIn Zuri Gas.
And what about in terms of supplies?
So in terms of supplies, we have distributors across these 3 counties, that is Murang'a, Kiambu and Nairobi. We also partnered with supermarkets. You go to Ananas, you find our stall there. You go to Siata, Kiambu Road, you find our stall there. We are building one at Juja City Mall. Yeah. We also have a different sales rep. Yeah. And the good thing, and I've told you about the young workforce, yeah, we are partnering with students. Yeah. So if you're a student, you can be able to control maybe people in your plot. You just come to us, we write an agreement down, we tell you, we'll be giving you this stock, we'll offer you a storage place. Yours is just to sell to the students, and you earn something.
All right. Now, as we bring this to an end, finally, why Zuri?
So, number one, our tagline says, reliable energy, safe every time. So, we have a safe product. It's reliable. In terms of costing, we consider every aspect of life. So, that's why you'll find us for the interior parts of Murang'a, where the kuna kina shosho na wazee, we try to incorporate their needs. Yeah? So, we give them the best affordable price in the market. Also, in terms of technology, I think we have used all the gaps from these old cylinders to build a technological driven product in the market. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard, for
Thank you.
making time for us this morning.
Thank you too.
You've heard from the gentleman. Did you say reliable and?
It's reliable energy, safe every time.
Reliable energy, safe every time. That is Zuri for you, a gas cylinder that you can always verify its authenticity using the QR code. So that has been the conversation surrounding the gas business. If you are interested in venturing in that business, you have a thing or two that is in terms of trade secrets, how you can you're not at zero. You at least know where to begin from. And if you're someone who's looking forward to having a reliable gas, or you're looking forward to getting in business, you want to be a salesperson, there is also work for that matter. So thank you so much, Richard, for making
Thank
time
you.
for us this
Thank
morning.
you.
And to our viewers back at home, at this point, we are taking a very short break. We'll be back with the newspaper review on the state of our nation. Stay tuned.